Hello and welcome to episode 24 of our Timberborn Update 7 Emberpelts playthrough, cycle 44, day 14. Got about 2.5 days left until we have a drought come in. Last time, well, we did a whole lot of stuff. I don't need to recap all of it, but we now have a very nice maple forest over here with some opportunity to build things around it. We have essentially every source minus one. And I believe it's over here somewhere. Well, at some point I'll figure out exactly where I put everything. I don't remember anymore. It's fine. Oh, I guess it's right here. This one hasn't been technically diverted the same way the other ones have, but we're basically at the point where any source that is currently unblocked has the opportunity to be diverted, minus this one, which I'm still planning on doing. But a couple of you said, you know what? I'd like to see these other sources opened up and diverted if necessary. So, because I'm a glutton for punishment, apparently, I guess I'm going to do that. Before we do that, however, I do have to, first of all, remember exactly where the source was. This one right here. Someone asked if this sluice was actually built, because on top of it I had placed all these other terrain pieces. But it is. So we should be all good to go. This one diverts to the very bottom of the map, straight off the edge. And now we can at least know that that is set up correctly. But we got this drought coming up, which is not a bad tide, which is unfortunate because I was kind of looking forward to seeing if everything was actually set up correctly. What this does allow us to do, however, is have a little bit more time getting these things situated where they can properly be diverted. So this is, it's kind of a big gap between all these things, but what it will allow us to do is relatively easily put in diversion channels straight to the edge. So in that vein, I think what's going to happen is I have to figure out exactly what is going to make the most sense for this. I'm going to pause the game so we don't lose too much time, because I do want to take advantage of these droughts. But I guess all I've got to do is just come straight off the edge like we have before, make sure we put in our sluice gate right here, and then do a similar kind of thing elsewhere. I also need to make sure I'm not going to just have this go completely off the side of something. I think this is probably okay. Just for the purpose of what we're attempting to do here. Yeah, see, like right here, I very easily could have had this spill out somewhere else if I was not careful. So I will go here, take that out. Just kind of snake my way through and merge into a single piece right here, which I suppose I probably should make a triple wide, because I'm going to have all of these things. I probably don't need any more than 3. Then this bit here, just have to remember exactly how this comes out that way. Yeah, that's probably fine. Ah, see, this is where this gets dangerous, because you don't know what's underneath. Okay, these are fine. These are fine, but this one, this is danger right here. So I want to make sure that I don't put myself in a situation where anything I remove could cause flooding below. There we go. And I don't know, maybe it's less treacherous to go this way. Does it really matter, though? It probably doesn't. If I go straight here on this level, I have to be very careful what's going to be underneath. Is there even anything under this? No, that's open to below. All right, let's not tempt fate here. Let's take this out. We'll go the other way. We will go the other way. Yeah, that's going to be the only reasonable way to accomplish this. This is, in fact, the riveting content you crave. You told me yourself in the comments of the previous videos. But all joking aside, putting this in this way, the water sources aren't really that strong. They should only be like 1 or 2 strength maximum. But I'm going to check. Okay, that's 1. 1, 1, and 1. Okay, so we're totally fine out of dev mode. Waterfall limit should not be a thing anyway because it's all staying on the same level. But putting this in here, that's going to join here. I'll just make this the exact same coming in here. That should be fine. Now, this is going to be annoying, shall we say, to actually get set up. But the drought's the perfect time to do it. So let's have an entry point, depending on where I have a path that's convenient. If I come in here, in this exact corner, just drop straight down. I need 1, 2, 3... What number is this? 2646. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Technically 6. Okay, we can rock with that. Just let me put this in on this side. So then we'll have that go there. I should have my blasting stuff available as well. Logs, planks. I already had an idea what this was actually supposed to be. Okay. That'll go there. Same old kind of stuff we've been doing forever with this. It's just real easy to lose track of what you're actually doing after you've done this a billion different times. You got your head going all sorts of different ways. But I told you I was committed to having this actually finished in a way that wasn't going to be completely stupid. So that is my promise to you, at least as much as I'm able to take care of. So that'll do these. And that, of course, will be its own process. But as you probably remember, there are some other sources that are completely blocked off here and here. These won't be as hard to deal with, but they're still going to be kind of a pain, especially because of how this is set up. So I think what's going to make the most sense is for the drop-off here to be inside of this and have this come down. I can't go down really any amount, honestly. And go across here. I'm going to have to go straight down to... Yeah, because it can't be this level, can't be this level. It's going to have to be this level, but that's also the same depth as that, so this is going to get... this is going to get complicated to do this. Sheesh, maybe I shouldn't have agreed to do it. Anyway, I think the easiest thing to do is just to have this... See, I can't even drop it, though, because then none of the clean water is going to come out. I want it to come out of both sides, so I guess it just needs to come out of the back of this. I know that's a whole thing. Probably easiest way is just to come down to this side and then... see, I did myself in with this. I don't have a great convenient way to handle this. Are we even going to need this set of tubeways anymore? I don't think the answer to that question is yes. So, recognizing that might actually be the best way to do this. Now, I know I did, to build some of these, I used the two-way tunnels instead of just the regular tunnels like I'm doing over here. But I think it's fine to just leave it like this. I am going to get this started, and then I will start the time lapse, but you know how this goes. Try to balance the actual achievements in-game with not being a complete waste of your time sitting here watching me do setup. So we'll get this locked and loaded here, and I guess hopefully they can use the rest of this drought to actually build this whole thing out. And I'll do my best to document it as much as I can. That is down in the correct level there. Put these ladders in place. And that is going to be all she wrote on that. Now, friends, all we have to do is wait. And they will build this. And hopefully, because we have enough beavers running around as builders, they can get this accomplished before the end of the drought. And then we can come in from the top and uncork it so that all the clean water can go in the middle and the bad water can go out the side. So, we'll let them do that, and I will catch back up with you in just a little while. Alright, after literally 40 minutes in real time, condensed as much as I possibly could in this time lapse, we finally have this entire area diverted for badwater. So there's still a little bit of clean water coming out of here from each of these 4 sources being drained off. And of course, there is rubble on the ground that I am going to summarily ignore. And now, friends, we have to figure out how to uncork all of these things. And that might be a little irritating to deal with. But why else are we here, right? So let's mark these all for demolishing. And the ones they can get to, they'll get to. The ones they can't get to, well, then we'll figure out how to make that happen, won't we? Seems like these are pretty similar kind of structures, just rotated around. We will, of course, have to get these staircases in here. Thank you, spiral staircases, for being one of the best inventions in the history of time. Now I just have to get all these hooked up. Let's see. I guess I don't technically have to do that one that way, but that's just the way that ended up working. Yeah, without having spiral staircases available, there is no way this would have been a viable option for us. So just get this last bit in here. That's reachable there. No issues. This is about to be reachable. Here, same kind of... Oh, who cares? It's going to go away soon anyway. That's going to go there. Just get this up on the next level. And then this here is basically already ready to go. So that's going to get the clean water to come out this way. Bad water will go out this way forever until the end of time. And oh boy, am I glad that's taken care of, because that took way too long. Now, I wanted to address this area here. I planted a bunch of maple trees to help solve our maple syrup problem, and we do technically have a surplus. Food is closing in on 70,000 units, which is pretty impressive. We've got 9,000 scones. We've got basically full storage on about half of these things. Apple pies also right at 9,000. Feeling pretty good about that. But there's still a need for radishes, and there is still a need for wheat. Outside of that, I think most... Okay, beets also. But that could be processing on the baked beets. So I'm thinking this would not be a terrible place to have another farm for some simple things. I know we have wheat over... Yeah, we have wheat over here. And I think it's probably best for us to just turn this into wheat instead of bell peppers. So I'm going to yank all these bell peppers out of the ground, replace them with wheat. That is probably going to help fix that issue. Like, we're not in terrible shape on wheat. It's just that wheat goes into so many different recipes that we're having issues getting everything taken care of. There's also that last recipe we don't have. Let's not forget cornbread. Because I had decided that I needed to think about what I was going to do with this area, and then I proceeded not to do anything about it at all. So probably what needs to happen is I just need to suck it up and put another couple of these bakeries in here and just deal with whatever the consequences are for having this set up poorly. So cornbread it is. Also, since I find myself up against the proverbial 8-ball with regard to timing on these, all these different series we got going on, I just need to shut up and do it. Cornbread takes, if I can get this to show up correctly, one of these is cornbread. There it is. Wheat flour, which we have. Maple syrup, which we have. Charcoal, which we have, but do not have a storage for. We'll fix that. And then cornmeal, which we are not currently grinding. We do have the opportunity to put another one of these in here grinding cornmeal, but I decided that maybe I could have this fourth grist mill doing cornmeal if I had enough wheat and wheat flour. It does not seem like it's going to be a problem, but you know how this goes. We just don't have enough wheat. So, probably what's going to make sense is if I just, over in this general area, figure out a place to stick some storage for cornmeal and then cornbread. As a reminder, we just don't have a storage for either of those things. So, the simplest possible solution... Really? We're not going to get a bad tide again? Simplest possible solution is for me to just come here and do one of these numbers. Put in an underground, not a pile, I guess just a regular large warehouse, honestly, for cornmeal and then cornbread. That is cornmeal, and then that is cornbread. Then we need charcoal. That was another one of those things. How many times am I going to say that was another one of those things? Well, it turns out there's many of those other types of things. For the sake of, you know, not having to do anything crazy stupid, it may actually be to my benefit to just have a tunnel on the end here and put in a big underground pile. Not an underground warehouse, but a big underground pile of charcoal, whatever that thing's called. So let's get them to take care of that first. And then, once we have enough wheat in place, I should be able to tell if we're going to, you know, not run out of wheat flour. Remember that the bakeries that I just put in here, these two, are going to consume a lot more wheat flour, so we may end up having to put in, if I can figure out where I'm going to stick it, another one of these things to make cornmeal. Let's get this on triple speed here. We do still have plenty of other stuff to take care of, and I do still need to plant other things. It's just kind of hard to do all of this at once and still have a decently entertaining video. We do need to take care of these pathways here that are not even remotely necessary anymore. It's going to improve the look and feel of this area substantially. Glad to see you guys like the smokestack thing. So I think we can be pretty happy with that. Ah, this is too far away. Well, as we harvest and remove these things, we can just expand our pathway and then take the path away. We just have to be able to, you know, put a path in the replacement spot, because it doesn't seem like they want to get the ones out of here that I want them to get out of there. That's fine. Nothing new under the sun, etc. Alright, so that's going to go away. And then, underground pile there, set to charcoal. And that is all I'm going to do with this for the time being, because I do still have all these other things to do. Anyway, I said maybe I should put a farm up here. And it seems like probably the smart thing to do would be to grow radishes and beets up here. So if we're able to get a decent looking farmhouse in place, or two, see, that's not going to cut the mustard there. If I did one there and one there with that one space gap with the fancy wooden path, then layered around this we've got radishes, we've got beets. If I just encapsulate this, and then I have to be careful not to overwrite any of this. We'll see how this looks. I don't know. I'm just kind of throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks, because there's only so many. No. There we go. I hate it when autosave lag does this to me. Let's leave that alone there. I just think it's kind of fun, you know, to make stuff that looks interesting, even if it's not necessarily the most enjoyable thing to try and take care of. Yeah, I guess I'll just do that. We'll go in straight lines. Or maybe I don't want to go in straight lines. Maybe I want to go... See, this lag is killing me, man. No, see, now that this doesn't make sense coming out like this. And I don't even I don't even remember which one of these is doing which thing. Is that the same? No, it is not. Good. Well, that's a start. And that's about... They still haven't done... Come on, man. They can only do what they want to do, and they can only do what they will do. You know how this goes. But I believe... Wow, they still haven't done any of this. Well, I guess removing these things is not super high on their priority list. But it is still in place. What other... I know we have the construction going on down here. Lag. But I figured they're probably... They haven't even finished any of these yet. Okay, never mind. They're working on it. Well, it's fine. We'll leave it alone. Only so much one can do at any given time. So in the interest of actually accomplishing... Oh, now they're coming over here. Maybe. Or are they... That's almost certainly... Oh, they're coming down here to grab all this garbage. That's where all my builders have gone. Sheesh, who cares about that? At any rate, they're going to take care of this at some point before the heat death of the universe. So let's shift gears and go on to somewhere else. I did say this was going to be kind of a pain to do, and that is the truth. But I don't really know of any other way to do it. So let's see, I have to have 1, 2... Oh, that's it? That's all I have to do to get down here? Okay, well, it's actually going to be probably substantially harder than that. Do I have a tubeway? Technically, I do. All right. Well, in the interest of actually accomplishing something here, let's do... Because this is a tubeway levee. Let's just save ourselves the grief. Make that a levee so that even if this floods, nothing bad can happen. Make this into a tubeway tunnel, and then make this... Come on, drought lag. Then we'll just make this a secondary tunnel there. Anyway, what I'm going to end up doing here is using this as a drain and build it adjacent to the tubeway tunnel these guys are using to get up in here. And I think the badwater drain part of this can just kind of come out behind here. But I have to get into this, because this is going to have to be sluice gates on this side and on this side, and then it's going to have to send the rest of it somewhere else. I think I can accomplish that by having this entire thing come straight out, and then all 4 of these edges, because actually let's just check. Oh, come on. What's the strength of these? 1. Okay, no more dev mode. So if the strength of all those is 1, then we only technically need 2 edges. So what's probably going to make the most sense? I suppose I only really need the sluice gates here and here, because if it's dirty, it'll just fall down the hole. No. So this is why I end up time-lapsing half this, so you don't hear how stupid I sound. Because that's going to have to be a drop-off here. Okay, I knew there was a reason why I was doing this. I'm just going to have to make that drop off, and then here, all the way down. They can take this out all the way from the top. And that can go there. I have to go around this. You can't go through it, remember. So this is going to be where that goes down. And that'll take care of this guy. The more difficult thing is getting this out. I think I already talked about kind of what I want to do here. I obviously can't put bad water in this mess. But I can take this tunnel away because we're almost certainly not going to use it again. And if I do that, I basically just have to have I think a 2 wide space is going to be enough. If I make one of these, I ought to just use this. One of these at Tubeway is going to be much faster to build. Yeah. So this can just come straight through to the edge. Not going to worry about making that a two-way levee. Because we're not going to... Come on, man. Yeah, get out of there. I just need the rest of this to be a thing. All the way out. There you go. And then, at some level, I guess, the same kind of thing we're doing here, or doing on the other side. Come on, lag. There we go. I can only assume these are the same strength. I probably shouldn't worry about it. Now, if I've done my dimensions correctly down here at the bottom, then this should be a pretty simple process. Yeah, there we go. So that is a two-way tunnel. That's another just a regular tunnel. So, yeah, easy way to do this is just to instead make one of these going up this stack into two-way tunnels. That way they can build all of it at once, and it should be pretty much idiot-proof. I'll let you guess who the idiot in question is. And I should be able to kind of ignore this for a while, especially if we're going to take advantage of the rest of this drought. And then later on, make sure this is ready to go before bad tide. That will get me up to here. And because we already have a tubeway here, that is... Oh, wait. Is this even... Oh, that is actually pretty close. And then that tubeway tunnel can just get connected right there. Then at the very top, right where this comes out to... Wait, did I at the very bottom have this set up to be a two-way? I did. One of these I'm going to turn into a two-way levee. I do not remember... No, it's going to have to be at the very bottom. It's going to have to be this one. There we go. That should hopefully stop the insanity here. Yeah, again, who cares? It'll be fine. We'll leave that alone. They are going to take their time getting up here. I'm not going to time-lapse most of this because we've already done this a billion times, and we also have other things we need to be taken care of, like getting all of this wheat put in place. Hopefully they can make some nice progress on this while we are working on everything else. So that is... Yeah, that's going to be fine over there. And how are we looking on the very, very, very bottom underneath here? Alright, and we still don't have a lot of wheat. We already knew that. The wheat flour amount has gone up. Obviously we don't have any cornmeal, so... Let me just change this over. I know I don't have corn stored down here. That is gonna... That's gonna maybe be a little annoying. Have the cornmeal, so why don't I just, for the time being, make that into corn. Wait, how do I have 33 cornbread if I didn't have it? Okay, whatever. I guess we just spontaneously made cornmeal? I'll worry about that later. Or not at all. I guess we'll see what happens. But we've planted this. Yeah, this... How in the world did I manage to do this so wrongly? So this is hard when you're trying to do these concentric circles here. It doesn't end up working out very nicely. Alright, what was this one? Beets? I guess the only way really is to just kind of keep going around in circles like this until you run out of space and then fill everything else back in. It's probably the only real way to do it, honestly. So that goes out to there. Goes out to there. Goes out to there, so on and so forth. What is the autosave? Range on this is fine. Yeah. I believe this is more or less the full extent of the range that I have access to without having it be a whole thing. So once they plant that, then I guess I can just get everything else taken care of. Fill the space in. If a couple of these are super ugly, then, well, it is what it is. Doesn't have to be the most beautiful thing ever. It just has to work, technically. And I'm leaving this open for a future path extension thing. I'll just put the path in place, because why not? And I already forgot. That's beets. All right. Now radishes. Same kind of deal. Trying not to make this a huge pain in the butt. And that's going to have to be good enough. We'll let them do what they got to do, get these numbers up. Wheat should recover. And if not, we will do something about it. Maybe take these beets out. Now, what about over here? Did they get these things out? They've gotten some of them out. Well, not really that big of a deal. We have all these other things to take care of. I'm more interested in how the progress of this mess is going. Okay, slowly, as I kind of expected. If I make that a priority, they should actually be able to come in from both ends on this. But we do have a minus 17 on jobs. I know I need more housing. See, that's the problem, is I've found myself to be completely out of time to continue this, and I don't want to put this on hiatus for like 3 weeks over everything else, so I kind of have to end it. But there's still so much that needs to be done. Oh, housing. I did say something about maybe putting some housing in here, but I think that would probably be a little bit too hard to do at this point. This space right here probably would not be a bad spot to maybe put a couple of simple-looking houses. We do have these mini lodges. Somebody floated the idea of a couple of maybe like cabin-style things. We got these little houses, just kind of all in the same general area with simple decorations. I do like that. I think that's kind of fun. So we just put in a couple of those attached with a nice wooden path. And then this could actually... Oh, well, that tapper shack can't reach over here anyway. Maybe we could put some more trees over here or something, but this is a start, right? Yeah, because this guy can't even reach. Unless we were to have this just cut straight across, and maybe we could get to a few more. So I'll tell you what we can do. I know there's a decent amount of you that would really like to see this. So, Forester, right here. I'll just fill the rest of this space in with maple trees. And that is going to have to be good enough. Then I can just put another tapper shack in here, because by the time we had enough houses in here, we're not going to have that many issues. Cycle 46. Very good. I don't know where I'm going to put my housing bridge I keep promising that I'm going to build. I kind of want to make the other giant bridge, too. The 60. Like, yeah, isn't this cool? I think it is. You might think it's completely ridiculous, and I don't know, you honestly are probably right. But don't you think this is, like, just incredibly awesome? It's so huge. But, I mean, I could technically fit it here, but that does look kind of out of place. And I didn't want to build the bridge out of housing itself. I know we talked about that. And somebody else said they want me to flood a whole lot more of the area around here, but honestly, we're on such a time crunch with this. Or I guess I'm on a time crunch. You guys aren't. It's really hard for me to just, what's the terminology? Overpromise, underdeliver. I consistently underpromise and wait, no, I got that wrong. My God, why am I so stupid with this? Anyway, You can probably tell that I've been recording this episode for a super long time, but we still have a whole lot of other stuff to do, so we're just going to have to let them get right back into it. I'm going to have to get this time-lapse going once again so we can try and get the rest of these diversionary, unclogging, clean water sources going. But if we get a bad tide, obviously I'm going to have to stop, and if that happens, then I guess we can tackle a few other things. But we'll let them get to what they got to get to, and see what happens as long as I'm able to keep this thing going, and then I'll talk to you in just a few seconds. Alright, I think they've done everything that I've asked them to do. So these are now sending fresh water out. These are now sending fresh water out. We've already established that these, if I can remember where they are all working, which is fantastic news, because I believe, minus this one right here, that is every water source actually completely taken care of. Let's just get rid of that because it's kind of ugly, and just not worry about any of that mess. I will cap that off. So, cycle 46, day 12. Water is, again, minus this one. All taken care of. Don't worry, we're still going to do that. We're still going to do it. But we've got these maples right here that I believe I can go ahead and swap out for a tapper shack. Make sure they can reach all this. We've got these extra lodges right here that have some little enhancements kind of in the forest, so to speak. Hasn't really fixed our vacancy issue, but it's something. And people asked for that, so I thought that was a nice thing to put in. In terms of the rest of this, we still don't have enough wheat. But food is now up to 81,000. I think that's probably pretty good. I don't know about you. But I believe the way this is going now, I'm not going to be feeling too terribly bad getting rid of all of these right here. And turning this into yet additional wheat. Now, the problem might become them not being able to actually get rid of all of these. We might just have to wait for them to be harvested normally. But I know at the very least I can plant more wheat, and I can get most of this replaced now without having to worry about it. It does always make more sense to just have wheat all ready to go. Now, if these are beets, and I have completely full storage of beets, it is possible these never get harvested. But I've done my due diligence. I've gotten that taken care of. I don't know why I did that. I need to go all the way down here anyway. We have, in here, 249 charcoal to help these things along. Full on cornbread, and we've got corn. And this seems to be doing okay, despite me not having a storage for cornmeal. I guess it's fine. It's not the best thing ever, but I guess it's okay. And again, 81,000 food, even if it's not all up here at the maximum. Baked beets. Baked beets. See, that was another thing. I was trying to figure out what actually makes sense with the limited time that I do have to try and finish this. What makes sense to, really dig my heels in and focus on. So, because we have beets over here, if we go to the grill, or wherever the heck they make baked beets. Oh, is that in a that's a bakery recipe. Oh, man. Now this is complicated. All right, never mind. We're not going to do that. I literally don't have time. Where is... Here we go. I got to divert these. And I know it already has it coming down through here. But it's day 13. We haven't had a bad tide in like 4 cycles or so. So I think we're about to get one. And that may give us some good insight into just how bad everything else still is that I'm not totally aware of. But seeing how this is level 0 and this is level 1, we kind of have our work cut out for us to divert the rest of this. And I am afraid it's not going to be a fast process. However, we do have this tunnel that's already ready to go. So recognizing that, I think it would behoove us to take advantage of the gift that we have been given and just get as much of this blasted out as we possibly can. I don't think... There you go. There's your title, I don't think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many times have I used the I don't think joke? Probably too many. Oh, there it is! There it is! We have the bad tide coming in. But anyway, 3 edges for 5 strength is still plenty. In fact, it's exactly the correct number. So, if these are completely emptied out, then what's going to be possible for us to do here is take the tubeway tunnels and then have this just be the same kind of deal. I'll make it a... come on, autosave. I'll make it a double wide. And we will... we'll just blast this out, regular tunnel. Tubeway, of course. Now, because this is bad tide stuff about to happen here, I do unfortunately have to not do this right at this exact moment. But I'm going to put the provision in place, have a tubeway levee tunnel here, and I'll have a tubeway levee tunnel here. Even though we already have tubeway levee tunnels, you know as well as I do just how much nonsense is going to happen if I ignore this. So, we can have them take care of just about everything else, minus this for one full bad tide cycle. And I'm really interested to see just what happens when this bad tide comes in. Because again, we've done so much diversion since the last bad tide that we had that I legitimately don't know if we've gotten everything taken care of correctly. I know we don't have to have this stuff over here, so we can get that emptied out. They are still going into these tunnels to get rid of everything here, so I think it's probably about time for us to just say, you know what? Snooze, you lose. No more rubble. You don't have to worry about it. Like it's over. Go home. So that should be fine. We've already talked about... Come on. There we go. Already talked about all this stuff. And in the unlikely event that we have missed something, we will find out very quickly if that's the case. So, since I will have to time-lapse through this... thank you, lag, once again. This bad tide... We might as well have some sort of other project in the works for them to do while that is happening. And what better than to build the Wonder of Fire for 20,000 science, which is technically the pinnacle of this playthrough. That doesn't mean it's going to be over when I launch this off, but we have to have something to do. And I think since most of the beavers are in this general area, it is going to make the most sense to have this in range of all of this housing. But I don't really have a... If I hadn't planted trees here, this would have been perfect. I don't really have a good spot for this, which is really unfortunate. Or maybe I made myself a liar. Maybe this isn't going to happen over here. Yes, I don't have a spot for it. I don't have a good spot. I guess right here, but it's not in range of much housing, is it? Well, it's better to have something in a slightly stupid location than not at all. I think, at least. If I want this to actually be built during this time lapse, maybe I just shut up and do it, huh? Man, somebody did not plan this out well. I wonder whose fault that was. Alright, so I'm just going to put that there so we can have literally anything for these beavers to look forward to. And I will have this go around to right here. So, I guess this is going to have to serve a dual purpose once this actually starts as a time-lapse thing, but I do want to see just exactly what's going to happen here. I am still kind of paranoid that I've done something extremely wrong with this, but I honestly can't think of anything that I might have missed. Like, these are all set correctly, right? Like, that's set to close below contamination, which it should. When it's above contamination, then it's going to go down here, and that's going to go all the way out, and I've got my tubeway levees on the outsides here, so that shouldn't flood at all. This has tubeway levee here, it's fine. This has the same kind of thing, close above, close below, yeah. I got nothing, man. I don't think there's anything else I could possibly miss. We know there's going to be bad water coming through here, and that is just kind of how it is. I don't have anywhere else really for it to go. So it's just kind of going to flow through here. I know we've got this set of sources. We don't have any bad water things left at all. I guess it just is what it is. So now we just wait. And we time-lapse the entire bad tide. And if something goes horribly, hilariously wrong, then I'm sure I will stop it and inform you of my hubris manifest, or whatever you want to call that. But outside of that, we're just going to power through the rest of this thing, and then when the bad tide ends, we'll put this last segment in, and I suppose, barring the other stuff that I said I was going to do before the end of this series, like get the population up, that's going to be about all the time I've got for this one. I'll talk to you in a little bit. Alright, so, ending the time-lapse here, they've accomplished basically nothing. That's fine, but I wanted to take a look at where all of our nasty water was, and we already knew this was going to be a thing. I'm mainly concerned about why this is nasty. Obviously, we know this is a thing. We can reroute this. But I don't see, importantly, any other nasty water coming from anywhere. In fact, this is very dry here, which is encouraging, because that means nothing over here is leaking. And we already knew... Wait a second, I didn't divert these? Oh, that's life-ruining right there. Oh, I can't, I don't have time to do this. That is depressing. Oh, man. Well, at least this is mostly fine. Man, I'll tell you what I'm not ever doing again is I'm not ever having 4 active series right before Christmas. That is a disaster waiting to happen. But now that that's been revealed, that actually kind of makes me kind of mad at myself for not remembering that that was a thing. Anyway, this is primed, ready to go, so that they can take care of that when the time arises to do so. But knowing that I don't have this extended too wide, which it almost certainly will need, makes it so that I have to come in here and take care of this also. Well, it's fine. It is what it is. I suppose it's probably fastest just to put more tubeways on this and not worry about the rest. That way they can basically completely automatically do this. Oh boy. I know if I don't do anything with this, you guys are not going to be happy with me. So yeah, see, I'm going to have to do it about on this level. All right, well, you know how this goes. You've seen this before. You've seen this before. So all I can really do at this point is just get this set up and then just move on with my life. At least it's going to be clean water when it comes through here again, and we know that this is what it is. I don't know that I can actually put... Yeah, see, I can't. Oh, that's a problem. That's a problem. I'm going to have to... I don't even know how I'm going to fix that. It's like the same kind of deal over here. I'm going to have to create an additional like cavern type thing over here. Yeah, I'm going to have to block this off and then have it go out to the sides. It's probably going to be honestly the only real way to accomplish this. And then backside going to be the same kind of deal. So if I am able to block this off here, I can have a sluice here and a sluice here, and then I can have 3 sluices here. I think it's going to be how I have to do that. Then this one here, if this is just regular tunnels, I'm not going to need... If I can get a guy in here, I'm not going to need to have the rest of this be tubeways. So, let's see, what is this? 150, 46, and then 3 over. Yep. This is what it is. This can just go straight down. They can go infinitely down without it being a problem. The other hard part is when you have to go up. And then that's going to go in there. And then from here is where I'm going to have... Yeah, see, tunnel, just go that way. Which means this also has to be a tubeway. And that whole thing there basically does exactly the same thing. Well, at least they're going to be able to get into it. We already knew that was a thing. Tubeway there. Now, because I do have tubeway here, I might as well take advantage of that. Come in like that. And just hope I don't flood absolutely everything out. So this piece is going to need to be a tubeway levee tunnel. And then same kind of deal here. Tubeway levee tunnel coming in just to where I can actually reach anything, which is going to be there. That can automate that. This here, two-way tunnel, two-way tunnel. I just have to have this be a regular tunnel. And then we already knew about this. Same kind of deal. They can build down from the top instead of up from the bottom. Going to be a lot easier. And I won't have to babysit it quite so much. This. Thank you, lag. Same kind of deal here. And then I just have to get somebody into this spot. So I think the only really foolproof way of accomplishing that, that's my doorway right there, is going to be to come across with a suspension bridge and then go straight down. Again, we cannot do this during a bad tide, or bad things will happen. Just have to have access into here that'll allow them to build basically everything with that. And then on this side, I just have to kind of do a similar thing. Except on this one, I might actually be able to take advantage of spiral staircases to a certain extent. And by that extent, I mean just doing one. Okay. That'll let me build basically all of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that'll be fine. All right, well, now that that extremely frustrating thing has been mostly resolved, I suppose I can hook this up. That's already got a levee. All right, that's fine. Then this, they can build up from the bottom, and then I'm going to have to, if this is... Oh, you know what? No, they can actually do all of this without me having to worry about anything else. Oh, boy! You know what time it is. Are you sick of the time lapses yet? You probably are. But that's fine. Just for your information, this is well past the 2-hour mark. I don't know how long this episode's going to be. I can't imagine it's going to be super long once everything's condensed. But this is what it takes to do all this stuff, folks. And this is why most people who play this game do not do it this way. They cut things out and they just skip through like 8 hours of progress because nobody wants to sit here and watch this. But I am, what's the line from Skyrim? I am sworn to carry your burdens. So, carry your burdens I shall. And time-lapse the beavers shall. Over and over and over and over and over again until we're actually finished with the diversions. And then at that point, then I don't really know what else there is to do short of waiting for that wonder to be completed and building the rest of the housing. But the rest of the housing is probably going to have to be a next video thing. So this one's coming out on Tuesday. You're going to see on Wednesday a community post talking a little bit more about scheduling. And there's not going to be a video Wednesday or Thursday, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day in the US, and I think most of the rest of the world, except those who don't observe it in December. I know there's some that observe it in January. Outside of that, I think the next episode for this one is going to have to be scheduled for Saturday. That may end up being the last one, and if not, then there will be another one the following Tuesday, which will be right before New Year's Eve. That'll be on the 30th. I believe. If I have my... I'm recording a bunch of these way in advance because holiday stuff, but you know how this goes. I'll talk to you in just a moment, and we'll see what is left to take care of. Alright, finally. Finally, I believe this is diverted. And we have clean water coming out here. Bad water falls down this, and then goes into this tunnel. goes all the way out. Capped this off so we don't have any flooding in here. Same story on the other side. And the very first part of that time lapse, if you're even able to follow it, I don't know how fast it's going to have to be. It's like an hour into 20 seconds. But we have the same kind of thing going on here for this all the way out, joining here, and then not this guy, but this single source right there. So I say with extreme reservation, I think we actually completely this time finally rerouted all the badwater. This has taken me entirely too long, so I hope that was a priority for you. If not, well, sorry. But we do have a tremendous quantity of these maples. We have these housing units right here, and I know you're all so excited to see this go off. We're not quite there yet, but we're close. We are very close. So let's check out our well-being. In terms of food, tomatoes are still kind of lacking, grilled corn. But I think that could just be beavers having to go all over the map and not having time to eat. Everything else is represented with the exception of a clock and the Wonder of Fire and a carousel. So those seem like good goals to try and round things out at the very end here. But I believe it would be very easy for us to just place a few strategic clocks. Yeah, facing that way so they can actually see it. And then maybe right here on top of the Tubeway station. That should give decent bonuses to some beavers in strategic locations. And then now all we really have to do to be quote-unquote done is get that population up, put a couple more housing things, build a housing thing spanning one of these canyons or something, I don't know. Because I said I was going to do it 1 billion years ago. Oh boy, it's a bad tide coming in. So I think, you know, outside of this not being diverted anywhere, I don't really know what else I could do with it, to be perfectly honest with you. I guess I could bring it in here, but man, I can't subject you guys to any more of this. It's been like 4 entire episodes devoted to just bad water diversion, and I don't think anybody actually cares that much about it. Could be wrong. But I am well and truly out of time. I'm beyond out of time. In fact, I spent like twice as long as I really could afford to spend making this, but I wanted to make sure we got essentially done. So if you really want to see that final bit tunneled out, then I guess I can do that next time, but I gotta go try and make some more videos. Of course, we can't do this without the support of the Beard Boosters, subsidizing the insanity of trying to, you know, make a 30, 45, 60-minute video out of multiple hours past that of raw recording. Like, nobody's doing this. At least not every day. So those folks make it possible for me to do it without having sponsors or any of the other nonsense that has seemed to pollute the greater internet in the last couple of years. I just want to have fun playing games, and I think you guys appreciate that. So those folks do make it possible. And of course, you make it possible too just by being here. So whatever it is you're doing with the rest of your day, stay safe, have fun, and we'll see you again soon for more Beavers. Take care, friends. Bye-bye.